In this video, we will be learning the next controller, that is nothing but the derivative controller. Now, this is the elementary block diagram of the derivative controller. Let's see the different terminologies in this one. Now, we have the input which is denoted by R of t, that is nothing but the reference input, and E of t is nothing but the error signal, and B of t is nothing but the feedback signal which is measured from the output of the element of the plant here. And this k is nothing but the derivative gain constant that is represented by k suffix d, and m of t is nothing but our manipulated output. These are the different terminologies involved in our derivative control block diagram. Now, as we give the input reference input at the summing point, our reference input and the feedback signal, that is nothing but b of t, gets added at this summing point, and it gives us the error signal. Now, this error signal, which is nothing but e of t, is fed as the input to our controller, which is nothing but the derivative controller. Now, this controller, after taking this error signal as the input here, it gives us the manipulated or the desired output, which is nothing but m of t. Now, while using such a controller, let's see what is the characteristic that is being added to our control system now. Now, whenever we are using a derivative controller, our manipulated output mathematically will be represented like this one. Manipulated output, or m of t, is proportional to d by dt of e of t. Now, this d by dt represents that time derivative of our error signal, which is nothing but the input given to our this derivative controller having a gain kd or transfer function. Now, when we want to remove this proportionality symbol, we will be putting an equal symbol and a constant here. So, doing that one, we will be writing this equation as m of t. This is equal to kd, that is nothing but the gain constant here, multiplied by whatever the remaining term here, that is nothing but d by dt into e of t, that is nothing but our the input to the derivative controller here. Now, for this expression, applying the Laplace transform on the both LHS and RHS, we will be converting what are the expressions which are in the time constraint to the frequency constraint here now. Now, applying the Laplace transform, we will be writing this m of t as m of s. This is equal to kd, is a constant, it will not be varying with respect to time, hence we will be retaining the same thing, into this is multiplied by d by dt into e of t. Now, this d by dt, since it is in the time zone, we need to convert this into frequency zone. While applying the Laplace transform, this d by dt will be writing it as s, that is nothing but the frequency zone here. Now, and the last term is we have this e of t, that is nothing but the input given to our derivative controller, which varies with respect to time. Hence, we will be converting this from time zone to frequency zone. We will be writing this as e into e of s here. Now, rearranging this expression, we will be writing this gain constant, that is nothing but the derivative gain constant, as m of s divided by s into e of s. This is our gain or transfer function of the derivative controller. So, whenever we are using this derivative controller in our control engineering system, the main characteristic that is being given by this controller is our manipulated output varies with respect to time derivative of the error signal, that is nothing but the input. So, as and when with respect to any time, if you take whatever the input that is being given to the derivative controller, with respect to that input, our manipulated output gets changed. That is the main characteristic that is being put into the system because of using this derivative control here. Now, let's see the characteristics which are being given to the system when we are using this derivative control here. Now, first characteristic is you can write as the stability of the system will be increased. Now, stability is nothing but how fast your system reaches the desired output what the system is designed for. And also, stability can also be said as the insensitivity of the system for other outputs other than the designed input. So, your system should be sensitive only to the input the system is designed for. It should be very insensitive to the signals or the range of signals to which the system is designed to operate. That is the meaning of stability. Second is, it provides significant correction for every small changes in the input of the system. So, what happens here, since our manipulated output or the desired output is proportional to the time derivative of our error signal, so that very minute changes in our error signal will make the required changes in our output of the system, so that our output will be reaching the desired value as soon as possible after activating the system. Last point is, since the error signal is manipulated at each and every time derivative of our input, the accuracy of the system will be increased here. So these are the three characteristics which will be given to the system because of using this derivative controller. These are the main points. This is the block diagram, this is the gain to be remembered, and these are the three characteristics of the derivative controller that is given to the control engineering system.